We'll do some math for, I don't know, about like a half hour or 40 minutes or something, and then we'll do the vocab competition. Um,
Fun.
so, so you have to endure the math to get to the fun part. Um, okay, so this is practice test 3 now, and I'm looking at section 2. So that's page like
14.
okay, 514, yeah. Okay. Yeah, sorry, practice test 3, section 2. Okay, so I want to start with 9, unless anybody had any questions before that. Oh, what?
Said 9's fine.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to go over 9. Did anybody have trouble with 9?
I skipped it.
Okay, yeah, because it's really weird, right? So they're just saying that t is like greater than w, and then they're saying we have the sum s plus t, and how much greater is it than the sum s plus w? So like, what you have to do simply is just subtract one from the other. It's just the stupidest problem ever. Like, there's not, it doesn't teach you anything, and it's not like, it doesn't have any cool intuitive like trick or anything, but it's hard to see that they're asking for something that's simple. So I mean, again, yeah, a lot of people like skipped it, but if you just kind of try some things, but I know it looks really scary, but if you just kind of try some things and like look, well, what are the sums, and then how do we find the difference? Maybe you could have gotten it. But then we have s plus t, and then that's minus s minus w, so the s's cancel, and then we just have t minus w. So I mean, again, that's, I personally really don't like this problem because it's just asking like basic arithmetic, but it's kind of, layering on all this complexity, so you can't see that it's a super easy problem. Okay, so why don't we look at number 11. 11. So 11 says if the average of 3s and t is 5, what is the value of s plus t? So I mean, how we write the average of 3s and t is we basically say 3 plus s plus t over 3 equals 5. And then they just want the value of s plus t. So from here, we just multiply both sides by 3, and then we get 3 plus s plus t equals 15, and then subtract 3, so then we get 12. So again, just kind of, you guys are pretty comfortable with this kind of thing, right? Kind of just doing the like, doing the average. It's for people who haven't taken, there are a lot of questions like this on the SAT. So if you haven't, done too many practice tests before, like, this class, then it might look a little strange to you. All right. So let's move on to number 12. So how comfortable do you guys feel with like Venn diagrams? Pretty okay?
I got it wrong because I didn't understand common correctly.
Sure. So I mean, when they're saying, yeah, so when they're saying they have, A, B, A, B, and C, right? That's how it's numbered.
Yep.
When they're asking for the common members between A and B, they're asking for all of these, including the ones that are common to A, B, and C. So like you might put 5 because that's just common to A and B, but not common to C. That's wrong. So, yep, that's not too bad. Let's go on to like number 16. Sorry, can you guys see over here? I know I'm kind of like blocking it, but okay.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. So we've got like, I'm just going to bring this with me because it's got a big table. So I mean, they're telling us that g of x is equal to f of 3x plus 1, right? So, and then they're telling us what is the value, they're asking us what is the value of g of 2. So do you know how to kind of like translate g of 2 into like f of something, because if we can do that, then we can simply look it up on the table and then we're done. So, like, if we're saying g of x equals this and then g of 2, we're just like putting in 2 for x. So we can simply then just write f of 3 times 2 plus 1. So we're just substituting in 2 for x in both the left side of the equation and the right side of the equation. So it's really just that simple. And once we have this, then we can kind of, simplify. So we have f of 7. And now at this point, we look at the table and we look up x and then f of x.
Okay.
So, I mean, x we have, we have values. So do you guys all know how to use kind of this function table? I mean, we've got values of x and we've got values of f of x. So we're going to just look up, like, if there's something that says, like, f of 2, we would look up where x equals 2, and then we'd look at the value there, which is -1. So then f of 2 is -1. This is problem 16 in section 2 of practice test 3. So if we're looking at f of 7, then we just look up 7 in the table, and that corresponds to a value of -5. So then our answer is -5. So I mean, this, basically the function questions you're going to see, they're either going to be like pictures of functions, they're going to give you, the equation for the function, or they're going to give you a table like this. So it's good to kind of be, pretty well, kind of practiced in all three function type of questions. But especially these can be a little bit like confusing because you think like, well, you don't have like what g of x or f of x actually is. You just have them in terms of each other. So it's a little bit confusing, but here's, you know, this will sometimes be replaced by a picture where again you don't have the formula, but you need to like look up on the picture where everything is. So the table, again, we just look for like, oh, f of 2, we look for that value in the x column, and we go over to the y value, and we see what the function is at that value. Yep. Okay. So let's look at 17. We're on practice test 3, and this is section 2. We're looking at 17. All right, so I mean did anyone get this question right? Okay, good. Anybody else? No? Okay, good job, great. So, no, there are certain questions on the, on certain SAT math sections where like pretty much none of my like students I tutor or like in the class or whatever get it. There'll be like one person who gets it right, and like, so that's great that you got it right. Awesome. So
Which section are we in? Sorry.
we're in section practice test 3, section 2.
Got it.
Yep, and we're on question 17.
Got it.
So I'm gonna try to draw this the best I can. If you were in, I was in Mr. Stevens' art class in Faith Center, so I should be good at drawing by now. Okay, so they're saying basically.
I actually did get that right too.
Oh, you got that right
Yeah.
too. Great.
It's more of a guess though.
No, good.
An educated one.
So I didn't. Wait, what did I? I'm not drawing this right.
Yeah, they need to be connected.
Yeah, they need to be connected. All right. All right, so they're telling us that we've got these like, they're telling us this length is 6. And so they're telling us also that these are equally spaced. So we've got 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So now it's a matter of kind of like, obviously you can probably see that like this is, a semicircle, and this is a semicircle, and this is a semicircle, and this is a semicircle, right? So now it's a matter of whether you want to kind of figure out, whether you want to figure out the area of the non-shaded region and then kind of subtract it from the area of like the big circle at the end. And that's probably the easiest way to do it. I mean, there are multiple ways to do it, but again, like, if you start like, I don't know, like you can't really, it's going to get really messy if you start kind of calculating all the shaded stuff, because then, this you're gonna still have to subtract stuff. So I mean, I like to find the area of the non-shaded region first, and then just subtract it from the whole circle. So the way we can do that is first we can look at, this kind of big semicircle here, and we can say the area of that is 1/2, because it's a semicircle, and then pi, and then the radius is 2, so 2 squared.
Wouldn't it be easier though to make the two non-shaded areas into one circle? Like
Yeah, it
slide those
would. Yeah,
shaded
I was going to
one
get to
circle?
that. So, I mean, I didn't want to go too quickly, but yeah, exactly. So, I mean, the thing you might notice is that there are two non-shaded semicircles, and they're both of the same radius and stuff. So you're going to end up adding like, 1/2 pi 2 squared plus 1/2 pi 2 squared. So it's just easier to kind of look at, the whole circle. Yeah, you kind of make them into a whole circle in your head, and then you subtract the smaller shaded circle, which is, there's half of it here and half of it here. So we're going to do minus pi times 1 squared. And then, so that's like 4 pi minus pi. So we have 3 pi. And now we're going to find the area of the whole circle and then subtract. This right here is the area of the non-shaded part. So the area of the whole circle is pi 3 squared. So that's 9 pi. So then we just do 9 pi minus 3 pi is 6 pi. So that's a lot of computation. It's pretty easy to make an error somewhere along the way in terms of like just computing. I mean, I've had people who, are getting high 700s in math, but they do this problem and they mess up something along the way with the math, or like they forget to subtract, the non-shaded
Where did
region.
we get your 3 squared from again? It's
The radius here is 3
Oh,
of
yeah,
the
yeah,
big
yeah.
circle.
Right,
So
got
this is the big circle.
Yep.
All right. This whiteboard's erasing pretty well today. I was a little concerned because my dad was like, I'm giving you this like spray solution if it doesn't erase. All right, so let's go to 18. 18 is a good question. So any 2 points determine a line. If there are 6 points in a plane, know 3 of which lie in the same line. How many lines are determined by pairs of these 6 points? So did anyone get this one right?
I don't
No. You got it right?
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't know how I did, but
Good, great. You got it right too? Great, all right, perfect. And this is both the circle one and this one are pretty hard. I mean, we're in the last 4 questions. So, all right, so we have a plane. I should really draw this bigger. So we'll say the whiteboard is the plane, and I'm just going to draw our points. Okay, so does anyone know about permutations and combinations? No, no. Okay, because you can do this problem really easily. I mean, any problem about like this kind of thing, how many, combinations can you make, how many types of, things are there, you can always do them without the equation, but if you want to like be, an overachiever and look up the equation, you can do like permutation, well actually it'd be combination because order doesn't matter, and it would be 6 pick 2. I don't know, nobody's seen this before? Okay, good. So you could use, then it's like n factorial over n minus r factorial, r factorial. If you're not familiar with this, that's okay. But you can, I mean, I'm not gonna waste time explaining this because like ultimately all the questions you'll encounter on the SAT, you don't need to use this formula. It might just like, speed things up a little bit. Okay, so, and that's when order doesn't matter. When order does matter, it's a little bit different. Okay, so we're going to, so the way I'm going to do this is I'm just going to kind of start drawing lines and we'll see what happens. So I'm going to start with this one. And I'm going to say, well, you can draw a line to here, 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 and you can draw a line to here, right? But then once we get, so far we have 5 lines. But then once we get to like this guy and we start drawing all the lines it can make, we can't draw a line back here because that's the same line that we already counted, right? So we're going to do like 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be 4. And then you can kind of see the pattern here, but then you keep going on. This is going to be just 3 because it's not really a line. Whoops. This one's going to be 3 because like it can't go back here or go back here because we've already counted that line. So it's going to be plus 3. And then we go to here. It's going to be plus 2 and then plus 1.
I drew all the lines out.
You draw the lines? Okay, good. No, I mean, that's a fine way to do it. And I mean, again, on the SAT, like, you don't want to, if you want to use permutations and combinations, that's fine. It'll save you a little bit of time, but like all the SAT problems are designed that you don't need to use the, super intense formulas, and instead you just like kind of draw it out or like think about it. Okay. So let's move on to number 19. Very scary function problem. But it's not too bad. I mean, it looks really scary. So, I mean, how many of you omitted this question?
I did.
Okay, okay. Did, how many got it wrong? Got it wrong? Or did anybody get it right? You got it right, okay. You got it right too, okay, good. Great, so I mean, I wasn't expecting anybody to really get, like, the circle problem or the line problem or the, this function problem right, but great, okay. So a certain function has the property that f of x plus y equals f of x plus f of y. So we're kind of looking which of these are true. So the first one we're looking at, f of a plus b, we're saying is equal to 2f of a. So looking at this, do you guys think this is right or wrong?
Right.
Yeah, so it's right, and the way we can look at that is they're actually saying that A and B are the same. They're saying A and B are the same. So if we kind of write this out, f of A plus B equals, and I'm just going to write it from here, equals f of A plus f of B, right? So I'm just plugging in, like they said, f of x plus y equals f of x plus f of y, so I'm just saying f of A plus B equals f of A plus f of B. So now I'm going to say, well, A equals B, right? So I'm going to say f of A plus f of A because A equals B, so I can just substitute A in here. And so now this does equal 2f of A. So that one's right. So let's look at, I mean, just even looking at this, right? Like 2 kind of looks weird. Like 2 looks different from the other ones. Like 1 looks good because it's like, I mean, 1 and 3 are kind of like working with sums, or there's like a 2 thrown in there, but 2 has a squared. So let's look at 2 in a moment. Let's go to 3. Okay, so 3 says f of b plus f of b equals f of 2a. So let's kind of, look at it and write it out. So f of b plus f of b, looking back at this property where f of x plus y equals f of x plus f of y, that means f of b plus f of b equals f of b plus b, right? So I'm going to write that. And again, this is just using this rule and saying x and y, well, f of b plus b equals f of b plus f of b. And now I'm going to just kind of simplify, well, this means f of 2b, right? And then, because a equals b, I can plug in a. So this equals f of 2a. Does everyone kind of see that? Okay, so it's just really just literally applying this rule over and over again to kind of what they're giving you. So that one's correct. So let's look at 2. F of a plus b equals f of a squared. Do you think that's right or wrong? Yeah, it's wrong, right? Because if we try to plug in like f of, I don't know, we could try to play around with this, f of a plus f of b, 2f of b, but we're never going to get an f of a squared. Like, I mean, we can play around with this and kind of say, okay, well, this equals f of a plus f of b, that equals 2f of a. We can play around, but we're never going to get like f of a times f of a because there's no multiplication here. We're only going to get f of a like plus f of a. So that's why 2 is wrong. Okay, so let's attempt number 20. Anyone get number 20 right?
Yeah.
You got it right?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So no, it's just funny because it's also all over the place. Like who got the like almost each of you got like one of these questions right. Okay. So none of you are in calculus or anything, right? No.
I'm in pre-calculus.
You're in pre-calc. Okay, so maybe you've seen questions kind of like this that are like they kind of give you or actually I've seen some in even algebra 2, but like they kind of give you like they give you like something with two variables and you kind of have to like figure out how to get it in one variable, and so you have to write two equations. But it's like a geometric thing. It's like, oh, you've got like a fence for a goat, and like, how much fencing does it take? So I mean, here's kind of a similar thing. You have a rope for a beach. And basically, they're telling you, here's your like diagram. Got X. Then you've got this is X, this is X, this is X, and then this is Y, right? And then this is just like sand. So that doesn't matter. So, so basically, we want to kind of figure. I mean, we look at all the answers, right, and they're all in Y. So like, and they're asking us, how much fencing we need. So first, let's write an equation for how much fencing we need in terms of X and Y. So we can say, well, Y plus X plus X plus X plus X, right? So Y plus 4X is how much fencing we need, right? Then, is there any other equation we can do? So this is like fencing. So is there anything we can do? Is there any other equation we can write for this?
Yeah, X times Y is 4,000.
So they tell us that the area of this like closed off thing is 4,000. So we can write an area equation where we say X times Y, so like the width times the length equals 4,000. So X times Y equals 4,000. So now we're simply going to solve this equation for X. So we divide both sides by Y. We get X equals 4,000 over Y. So now we can take this.
And we're solving it for x because x is a section. So I could
Yeah,
divide
we want to eliminate X from the X.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
we want to eliminate X from the equation because all the answers have Y. So we're solving for X, so then we can plug in and get rid of that X.
Got it.
So here's our X, and we're going to plug it in right here. So then we get Y plus 4 times 4,000 over Y, which ends up being Y plus 16,000 over Y, which is B. Okay, let's just turn to the next section and do a few more, and then we'll probably start on the vocab. I'm going to go over 5 in section 5 just to like make sure that I'm kind of covering some of the easier and some of the harder questions and not just all of the super hard questions. Sometimes the easy ones can trip you up a little bit. So this one says, what is the area of square ABCD?
What question number?
This is number 5. And they're saying, what is the area? And they give us that this is 4.
Yeah, I was a little confused by that percent because I didn't know if they meant the area, like that part of the square was 4, or if the line was 4. 'Cause it's
Yes,
really
the
close to the.
line is 4, the
Okay, right.
diagonal is 4. So, does anyone know what happens when we, like, what kind of triangles we create when we kind of like bisect a square in this way?
Triangle?
Yeah,
Yeah.
45, 45.
Yeah, you said a right triangle? Yeah, so I mean, it's particularly a 45, 45, 90 triangle, and that's because like a square is like symmetric basically, right? So I mean, if you cut it like that, it's going to bisect these two angles. Okay, so I mean, we have this, and now we can turn to, at the front of your test, right? We've got this whole, oh, I guess just a page away, we've got this special right triangles, right? So you can see that it says a 45, 45, 90 is S, S, and S root 2.
That sheet's on the actual test, right?
Yes.
So it'll be that.
Mm-hmm. They give you that. So we know that this is, S root 2, S and S. That's what we have. So we can set S root 2 equal to 4, right? And then we can solve for what the side will be. So I'm just going to divide both sides by root 2. So we have the side will be 4 over root 2. And then to get the area, we simply square that, right? Because we multiply, all the sides are equal, and we multiply them. So S squared is the area, and that's going to be 4 over root 2 squared, which is going to be 16 over 2, which is going to be 8.
I did it a little differently. I used the Pythagorean theorem.
Sure.
So I made one side equal x, all sides are equal to x, and so are equal.
Yeah.
I made it 2x squared equals
Yeah.
4
No,
squared.
so that's fine too. So you should know. I don't know if I've gone over any really Pythagorean theorem questions with you, but you guys are all familiar with the Pythagorean theorem, right? So another way you could do this is say this is a square, so this is x and this is x. So do the whole, x squared plus x squared equals 4 squared. And then you've got like 2x squared equals 16. Divide by 2, divided by 2, x squared equals 8.
Squared.
I think that's an easier way to do it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
probably
it's a
an
lot
easier
easier.
way. I just want to show you like the special right
Right.
triangles because, so
They'll have that
usually you
on the
can do
test,
this,
so you
but
can-
sometimes they really hit you with the special
It's
right
helpful
triangles.
sometimes,
But I guess I've gone over special right triangles with you before. I thought maybe I did one with the pyramid, but yeah, so it's good to know both of these ways because you'll pretty much encounter both on the test.
Yep.
Let's look at number 8. So did anyone get number 8 right?
I skipped it.
Anyone?
Yeah, I skipped that.
I got it right.
I was like,
You got it
I'm not gonna
right?
waste my time.
Okay, good. All right, so this one is weird, but so we've got x minus 8 times x minus k, and that equals x squared minus 5kx plus n. Okay, so with this, we kind of want to figure out, like, well, it looks like we have too many unknowns, right? It looks like we have k and it looks like we have m. So we have one equation, 2 unknowns, right? But we can actually pull 2 equations out of this. And that's because, as I'll show in a minute, like, you can only add like terms to each other. So you're going to get, 2 equations, basically. So what we do here is we FOIL out, this whole thing. So we have x squared, we have plus 8k, and then we have minus 8x minus kx. And that equals x squared minus 5kx plus m. Right away, let's get rid of the x squared. So we've got, and now I'm going to kind of group like terms. So, these both have, here are terms with x. So I'm not going to bring them to, I'm not going to like bring them to the other side. I'm first just going to like kind of, just kind of group these. So we have x times negative 8 minus k plus 8k equals x times negative 5k plus m. So here, I mean, if we had numbers, right, we would never be adding like this term to this term, right? We'd only be adding the x terms to other x terms, right? So in that case, we know that like we can kind of separate out and say like x times negative 8 minus k equals x times negative 5k, and then say 8k equals m.
Why can we do that?
Because, yeah, I'll go over more, just because we're only ever going to add like terms. So like we're only, this is an x term and this is an x term. If these were numbers, we would only say like if this were 5x and this were, well, they're both equal, but you know what I mean? Like if we had some equation like 5x plus 2x plus 3 plus 2, like we're only going to ever add these and these. So, I mean, another way to see it, let's just do it with numbers, like simpler numbers.
I understand that you could add them, but why are they equal to each other?
Right, so like, let's say we have something x and something x. And this is, well, let me actually just do, this is like 1 plus 9x equals 1 plus kx.
Okay.
K equals 9, right? So I mean, this is the same logic. Or similarly, if we had like 2x plus 5 equals 2x plus g, we'd know g is 5, right? We wouldn't kind of like mess with the x terms. We'd only look at like, oh, this is not an x
Right.
term, so it must
Are
equal
we ever
this
told
one.
that 8k equals m? I mean, do we just have to? I mean, I know you wrote that on the board, but for your equation to work up there, there have to be two like terms that are equal to each other.
Sure, so I mean, this is like, these are the two terms without x.
Right.
So what do you think?
Do we have to assume that they're equal?
Yeah, we assume that they're equal.
Okay.
Because I mean, they can't, this equation can't work without them being
Okay.
equal, because they're not going to get, you're not going to get like a non-x term from, this guy or this guy. You're only going to get it from here and here, so they're the only two non-x terms, so they have to be equal to each other for the equations to be equal to each other. So it's a weird concept, but have any of you done like, none of you have done imaginary numbers, I guess?
You mean like square root of negative 1?
Yeah, like, because I mean, this practice is fairly common when you're working with equations with imaginary numbers, where they'll give you like, ki plus 9 equals like 5i plus, m, and you have to find out what m and k are. Like, that's pretty common, because I mean, obviously, it's the same logic. You can't ever add like these terms or these terms. So you're looking really at just comparing this term to this term and this term to this term. So it's the same.
Right, so 9 equals m up there, right?
Right, exactly. And you know that 5 equals k, because
Right.
like you can't,
Yeah.
these are two separate things. Good. Okay. So here, now it's just a matter of getting rid of these x's. Like, we can just cancel them out because they're on both sides in this equation. So now it's just a matter of solving for k and then plugging it into here. And this is completely solvable. Yeah, let me just put like one more problem in here and then we'll go on to vocab. Let's look at this angle problem, 15. Okay. So, did anyone get this one right?
I did.
Okay. Oh, so a lot of you got it right? You feel like it's worth going over? Who got it wrong or skipped it?
I got it wrong. I know I should have gotten it right because I'm doing geometry right now. I must have just rushed on it though.
Sure.
But I got it wrong.
All right, so
The
let's
answer
go
is
over it.
the answer is 90, but I got 80 somehow.
Okay.
One of those, yeah, one of those things goes a little off.
Right, right. So then we got, and this is 30, 40, and then this is FOA, Goes to B. A lot of this is just labeling. Like actually the first time I looked at this question, I just completely didn't read the line. That's the last line that says OB bisects AOD. So for like it's unsolvable if you only have those two pieces of
Right.
information. So I was looking at it for like 5 minutes, being like, what is going on here? But then I was like, oh, there's just that extra piece of information that I didn't see. So I mean, a lot of it is just like labeling and figuring out what you actually have. So OD bisects AOF. So OD bisects, that means AOF. So that means these two are equal.
Yeah, and it says it's not drawn to scale too, so
Yeah.
their angles are off. I was like, come on.
Yeah. So OC bisects AOE. So OC bisects AOE. So AOE and then OC bisects. And then finally, this is the one I missed, which then you can't solve it. OB bisects AOD. So OB bisects. So it's OB bisects AOD. Yeah, so we have, so yeah, I know this is kind of like a lot of lines, but you can kind of see now which ones are equal, right? So we can work up from that last piece of information and say, well, if this is equal to like this angle and this is 40, then, you know, this whole thing is 40, right? And then we can kind of work up from that and say that we've got, well, this is 40 and this is 40. So this whole thing is 80 degrees. And so then we have that from the other piece of information that this equals this. So we know that this needs to equal 80. So we know that if this is 30, this is 50. So we just add 50 to 40 to get like this angle measure. So that's not too bad, but it's a little weird. Yeah, so we should probably go on to vocab now. All right. So, let's see. Oh, okay, good. So what? Well, do you guys? I was gonna randomize you guys, but I mean, it seems like you would probably form pretty fine teams. Or do you want me to kind of scramble you? You don't care. All right, let's scramble you. So there are 9 of you here. So you're gonna make 3 teams of 3. So I'm just gonna count you off. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So I guess 1's over here, 2's over here, 3's over here.
Sorry, I have to move. Oh, Josh.
Oh, come on.
No, because yeah, in fact, actually, don't look at your book because it might have definitions of words.
He should be expelled on it.
What?
Not expelled. He shouldn't play.
All right. So, basically, I mean, I don't know. Do you guys want to like make up team names, or let's just do this maybe?
Team 1 and Team 2 and Team 3.
I know it's
Very
pretty.
original names.
It's pretty boring. All right. Team
So
1, Team 2,
So we could
Team
do
3.
I could be
double
Josh now.
Thomas.
Double Thomas. There we go.
Thomas squared.
Double
Alright.
Thomas Josh. Yeah, Thomas squared equals Josh. There we go. Yeah.
Does anyone else want to have a name?
I don't
No.
know.
No. All right.
Doesn't really matter.
All right. So one name, please.
Yes.
Everybody else. All right.
Yeah.
So-
Good name.
And I will write all of these on the board. And whoever gets it right gets a point. So if like all 3 of you get it right, you all get 1
Oh, you're
point.
just
You just yell it out.
Yeah, you shout it out.
Okay. So let's start easy-ish.
Pertaining
Aesthetic.
to beauty.
Okay.
Oh, so that's how we're doing this? Just shout it out like that?
Can you turn it a
Go
little?
for it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
You don't want to shout it out?
Well, I've never been good. I'm gonna be like, blah, blah, blah.
Right. No. So I mean, that's why I'm not making it timed. I get really scared under
Yeah.
like time.
So what if like he just said it and then someone else just says it after?
Oh, that's true. I didn't think of that.
Like,
We can all get it.
D, what?
But you're not looking to
She's
see
writing.
raising your hand, you're writing it down.
However, just shout it
How
out
about we
first.
wait
That's
until
What if you
she's
don't
writing
write
it
it
down?
No,
Yeah,
just
just say
say
the
it.
word. Just say the
Just
word.
what if you just say it? Do you need to write it down?
I thought it will help you learn what the
What if
definition
we just
is.
wait? What if we wait until she finishes writing down, then raise our
We
hands?
still have a buzzer.
How about you, Snaps?
What would be the best if we had a list of definitions without the terms, like just the
Yeah.
names, and then we could all write it,
But
fill
that's
it
like-
out.
Yeah,
But
I guess it's just
that'd
so
be the most
exciting
fair,
if
I'm
you are
saying.
all like
Do you
writing on a
volunteer
piece
to
of
write out
paper.
each single one on a piece of paper?
Well.
All right.
That's how it works.
No, because I don't want it to be timed because this is more. I mean, on the SAT you're not gonna have to think of in 5
Right,
seconds.
yeah.
So why don't we do this? I'm gonna give you all a sheet of paper,
Okay.
and then you guys will have like 30 seconds to write it down.
Or is it-
Well, okay, a minute to write it down. I mean, you should be able to think
30
of it in a
seconds
minute.
is fine.
Yeah,
All right.
30 seconds
Let's
is
try to
fine.
get it.
I
I
mean,
mean,
we
like,
need a pencil.
I need to contemplate.
Well, no, I'm just gonna do 1 to 30 seconds, and then
Throw it over.
What if-
Oh.
What if we both hit? What if, let's say, 30 seconds passes and
We have to
let's
have a
say
team
team
writer.
1
Josh,
and
you're in
team
the
2
middle.
both
You're
hit.
a free writer.
then I give everybody, both teams.
Okay.
Point. Yeah.
They don't get that point.
So I didn't realize
say
this was gonna be
no.
so complicated.
Is that kind of the point?
Hey, there's chocolate involved. It's gonna be.
Yeah.
All right.
Each team gets describe. a whole bar though, right? That's how it works.
What?
Discuss definition.
All right. So, all right.
One person has to know it. I think I know. Whatever's easiest.
Anecdote.
Basically, I don't know what to do here. We'll just go like one person through.
Yeah, you can discuss if you
Or
know.
the person who actually knows it. We don't have to alternate. It's actually.
No, I don't want like one person in the team just writing like all the answers. So
Alright,
I
so we
mean,
have to
try
alternate.
to alternate, but then alternate, but like other people can give input if you really don't know. No, you guys are good at thinking of all the exceptions and everything. I just thought this was gonna be a really simple competition. I didn't realize
They're
that
like,
you
no,
guys.
you can't do that. Actually, teamwork.
All right, so I'll just come over and start
And then-
checking. Okay, good.
You get extra like chocolate if you do a more correct definition, like in greater depth.
No, I'm gonna do either correct or not correct.
All right.
But you guys have like verbatim the same.
Well,
Wow.
quiz. Yes.
That's only one.
Yeah. Okay. Good. That's good enough. Okay. So
Everyone get it right?
yeah. So no, that's good.
Short of
Wow.
10.
All right.
It has to be 10 or it doesn't count.
Okay, so how are you numbering it?
Or just on one.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like grade the sheets after. You can just write it however. All right. I'm starting easy, but I'll get harder if I'm realizing all of you are getting everything right. Camaraderie.
I know what I'm writing down.
Okay, well, let's go. I just wrote.
All right. Oh no, not ready. Not ready.
Okay.
Go. Yeah.
I don't like.
I thought it was gonna be.
I don't like sitting next to
Okay.
Bite me, but.
Is that a yes?
Yeah, is that it?
No, I will
Is that an
accept
okay
that.
or
No,
a
no,
yes?
I will accept that. And the real one, well, yeah, I will. Oh, okay, so that's pretty
Oh, yeah,
similar.
that's
Yeah,
pretty
that's
same,
pretty
exact same.
identical. Okay.
Someone
Okay,
studying
perfect.
his terms
Wow,
this morning.
everybody
Did
is
you really?
studying.
Yeah, I
This is
did.
great. No, I'm really impressed. Great. Okay, great. Everyone is like, okay, good. So you all got it right. All right, so I got to get harder here.
Oh my goodness.
Uh,
This is gonna end.
You're
and
from
everyone's
11.
everyone's
What's
gonna
it?
I know there has to be a tiebreaker because
So
I'm
we're
not.
all winners
I'm not
apparently.
Yeah.
I will.
So for the tiebreaker,
For
we'll
real.
just say it out loud and you won't write it down at the end.
No, it's a dance.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I'm a visual learner, so I don't want to make anybody like.
Or do it
Yeah.
a math problem.
All right. Okay.
No, I'm out.
I would.
Quantum physics.
Florid.
right, but yeah. Right.
Yeah, I'm
Know this?
yeah.
So the,
Let's
block.
just.
Well, chemical. I know that.
I see in the middle.
Actually, that's not a bad idea.
Oh, I forgot what I asked.
Oh,
Yeah, it was something like that. It was like ornamental. I don't know.
No.
Right now, though.
But
just
good
read
try,
like
good
that.
try.
Let's see.
Okay, yeah,
That's
that
what the quiz
is,
was.
yeah, that is what it said. I was looking at the
Wait,
first definition.
you know the definition
Wait,
verbatim?
I don't know.
let me see yours again then. Hang on.
At least it's like yeah.
Yeah, it's not quite. All right. Okay, good. Okay, so, wait, you guys were threes or ones? Oh, all right.
But if you don't want to give the point to one, that's fine.
I'll only give the
Calm
point to two
down.
because
Just give it to two.
it's the only one that's in the middle that I know. Okay.
Take a
All
step.
right. So the next one is going to be precocious.
Okay, that one is.
Oh, it's kind of like
Can anybody think of Mary Poppins when they were doing this work? Or was I the only person?
Wait.
Mary Poppins, did anybody think of that?
No.
Okay.
I think we should just do the class
Do you have
against
any
Tim.
idea?
I think Tim will win.
You guys are not ready yet?
No, we are
No,
not
so-
ready. We are far from ready.
I don't know your name. Mary Poppins. And how many different words are there? 100.
Well, 100, but we're not going to go through all
Yeah, that's
100.
right.
I mean,
Right.
it's dependent on time. I mean, we have about like 12 minutes left, so I mean,
So there
I'll
is no
probably go
chance of
through
running
about
out of
10.
words for time.
What?
There's no chance of running out of words for time.
No.
You sent out the link on Thursday last
Yeah.
week, right?
I'm really impressed that you guys all studied and like this is great.
I think you're
You guys are ready? Okay.
We're in the process of making up a stupid definition to it.
That's right? You get points for that?
Come on. The flying dinosaur is not correct.
Oh, that's really what I thought
Somebody else.
That's what we all wrote.
Is that a pterodactyl?
Yeah, that's
Yes!
There you go. Thank you. We're gonna get ahead here. Here we go.
All right, good. Okay.
Wait, what is it?
Well, yeah, what is it?
So it's like talented or advanced beyond one's age. So like a precocious child, like a really smart child.
Oh.
Yeah.
So all right. So now
It's
two,
just like the opposite
three.
of me.
All right. So two's in the lead by 1 point here. All right. I am gonna go off the list, by the way, for a few bonus
Okay.
ones. So, but that'll only be like maybe 3 words. Let's go with. You guys are done?
Yeah, we're done.
All right.
This is great.
That's what I was thinking when I was studying.
That's what this means.
Not quite.
No?
Wait, we still got it right.
Yeah.
You say no yet.
Yes.
Yes, for 2.
Is anyone else
Good.
laughing?
Okay. Yes. For
It's a
three.
team. It's a team effort.
What did
Which means
I mean, what do you- What do you mean exactly by madness?
Not anger, but like.
No. Okay, that's wrong.
No, I mean
Yes.
anger.
No.
What is it?
I mean, so it's like bitter and hateful. So if you said mad, like
Yeah.
angry, maybe I would have given you a
That's
point, but.
No, that's not what I wrote.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna give you one that was on this list, and you've seen it in like a SAT that we did,
Here we go.
or a version of it you've seen.
Okay, that is.
It's technical.
What?
No, it's just
Oh, okay.
Are you sure that was in the SAT?
Well, this was in the SAT. That version of it. All right. Are you guys done?
We have
Oh, okay. Who's done? You guys are done? Okay, I'll talk to you guys. Good.
Oh, you kidding me?
We got
You
nothing.
guys ready?
Yeah, we have nothing.
I mean,
we
I'll
have,
give
we
you.
have a guess.
You guys?
Yeah.
Okay. No. Okay. And then you guys have nothing?
Wait, not wait. 3 seconds.
Okay.
Well, you just say your answer since everyone's already written theirs down.
Yeah. I mean, just tell me.
How do you
I
get
have a
there?
word.
3,
but
2.
no, I'm done. We don't
Okay.
know.
All right.
What is it?
So it means like faithless, loyal, untrustworthy.
Yeah,
So that's we had an SAT question on that.
What
So
was yours?
some of you might have seen it, but
Robbie, what was your
that was perfectionistic. That's pretty good.
No,
Like,
I
that's a
was
good
saying
guess,
obviously.
but you might have noticed the PER is like perjury. So.
I was going off the DI for this word. That's how I know.
Oh, okay. Interesting. No, that's really interesting.
My brain
Okay.
Oh, please.
Querulous.
I could do all 195 minutes.
Yeah, is this just like Timothy kind of writing down all the words?
Well, it's a team effort. We're all taking turns writing down.
Okay. All right, who's ready? Anyone ready? Did anyone write it down? No? Oh, even you. Wait, even you guys are stumped?
No, we were.
Oh, you wrote it down. All right, yeah.
I've heard the word before.
Okay, good.
Started.
You guys got it yet?
No, we're not yet.
All right. All right, you guys.
This time we have.
Oh, I know where
We have
We have a guess.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
I heard this narrow vocabulary words.
You guys are still in second place. Okay.
Oh, nice.
No. Okay.
Wait.
All right. Let's. Yeah, I want to get a few more in. So let's.
Questioning.
No. All right. So. All right. Here, I'm going. So we have 5 minutes left. I'm gonna have a bonus round, and I'm gonna make each of these words worth 2 points. And some of them might not be from the.
No, 1 point for them, 2 points for us.
I mean, do you want to?
If you're going off the list.
What does Carl
Okay.
actually mean?
Oh, it means like irritable. So okay. So 2 points.
Yeah, he sent
2 points for each of these words. All right. Palliative.
Just go for it. No.
Yeah.
No, but I was.
I'm just gonna guess. Yeah, I mean, you can't do bad if you
Yes.
guess.
Did you guys? Okay. No, not quite. But good guess because it doesn't have that word.
Wait, what'd you say?
Well, what if you haven't written your answer yet?
No.
No, we
Yeah.
have.
Alright.
Wait, what'd you say?
Tasty.
Oh.
No.
Alright,
Okay.
well, none of
What
them
did they
got it
say?
right. So.
All right, so nobody got this one right. This is relieving without a cure. So like kind of curing, but not really. So
There's no
but,
way.
but
like,
good
a
guesses:
gazillion, trillion years
tasty,
we ever would've gotten
art,
Art.
and
Mortality.
okay. All right. So let's go to. I'm gonna do one from the list now. Again, this is still the bonus round though, so 2
Okay.
points.
You know this one?
Yeah, I know
Anachronistic.
this one.
I think I might know what it pertains to.
It means, sorry, is it I'm writing right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's that?
Okay. Okay, good.
Here, read that.
Oh, I guess.
That's good. Good.
Yes.
Actually,
Yeah.
yours is much longer. Everyone just said
3
out of
points?
date. But you,
Yeah, 3.
They just said
I don't
something
know.
like
That's bending the
I
rules.
seriously doubt it.
Then everybody would get.
Job.
Wait, if you actually said it verbatim, what was the second part?
It said verbatim right there.
Please. Yeah, I know. I can't bend the rules. So everyone gets 2 points. Sorry.
It's okay.
All right. So
Well, no.
let's do. Um. Prosaic.
It's like one of the weirdest words on.
I know. I think it's a really weird word.
Yep.
So did you get it yet? Okay. I'm not sure I'm gonna give credit for that.
That is word for word for the Quizlet flashcards.
Really?
Yes.
He's lying.
I'm not
It's just no. I mean, it pretty much is the definition. It's just a little bit different, but all right.
Give us like 2 more seconds. Just wait 1 second.
Okay, sure. No, I mean that's pretty much it. Okay. Oh, you got the same thing. All right. So
Yeah.
that's good. All right.
We will.
And then
What? Okay, artsy.
artsy? That's not right.
Bam!
All right. So I'm gonna give one last
What
word.
was it?
It was wrong at the mail.
And
What?
commonplace,
Wrong at the
stole. All right. So I'm gonna give one word. It's not on the sheet, and I'm gonna make it worth 5 points. It's a really hard
So you
word.
don't get it. Yeah.
So?
Oh, well,
It's my
honestly
favorite
say
word.
I have no idea what
It's my favorite word.
Say it.
How do you say it?
study in
Skewomorph.
college? Related to
What?
What did you study in college? That might give us a clue.
No, I said engineer. Well, I said engineering. I said okay. That could be a clue, but I
What was guess? Okay.
does nobody really knows this one.
I have no idea.
All right.
We could,
Can you give any hints?
what do you think should be this one?
It's not. I know.
I
well,
don't know.
I don't think I should
Ask
give a
him.
hint. Just try to guess, and then.
Alright, do you have
No.
any idea? Nope. Nothing.
All right. It's
Just put a random word down. Alright.
Let's put a random word down.
Changing of a form.
We have one. No,
20
three
questions.
That's
Here we go.
close.
Ooh.
That's close.
Is it
So
change
it's
of mind?
no, but it's something to do with changing form a little
Oh, yeah.
bit.
More than it.
So we get a half point.
Maybe.
So elements changing. I don't know. Good question.
All right. No, nobody has any idea.
No.
All right. Well, so it's
I don't know.
it's a really cool word. It's like something that like used to kind of be functional, but now it's just for decoration. So like buttons on your iPhone screen, they look like buttons,
So
like a
obsolete?
button you. Not really. No, it's like actually something like or rivets on jeans. Well, they're not really functioning as rivets today, but they're still there for like decorative purposes. Or like the little handle on like a maple syrup jug. Like you don't actually use that handle to pour in the maple syrup, but it's kind of for decorative.
Right.
So it's really cool. You should Google it. It's very
How do you
cool.
pronounce it?
Skewomorph.
Do they get the 2.5 points?
At least 5 points.
No, because morph is pretty obvious to see from that.
Yeah, we can.
So, but I mean that was good. But so I mean, team 2 wins. So